I'm here with Shaykh Nazim al-Qabrusi. First question is about your work as a spiritual leader in the world. What sect or religion or Sufi organization do you come from?
I am only, I like to say that I am only a humble servant for the Lord of Heavens, and it is not important from which sect or from which tariqah Sufi order I am coming, but I am belonging to biggest human family, one simple member from big mankind family. And I am trying to be a best servant for my Lord, and also my mission is to call people, every people, without making any difference between them, to call them to a best servanthood for their lords.
What is the primary, the focus, the goal of your teaching or your work, or how to bring the Lord to all these people?
My main goal that I am asking from people to give their best servanthood to their Lord, and to make their best for everyone around themselves.
What do you suggest that these people do that come to you to make that happen? How do they actually serve in the best way in a world that has many problems?
And every problems on earth now through people, there is some reasons, as I am a believer through whole holy books, beginning from the first man and from his teachings, then to Noah, then to Abraham, then to Moses, then to Jesus Christ, then to Muhammad, peace be upon them. As I am believing through heavenly messages, through heavenly messengers, first problem for first man, it was from Satan. Satan cheated first man and his women, and they were in paradise, in a best life, and because they have been cheated by Satan, they fall down in troubles on this planet. And I am looking same reason now in our days, in our time, in our period. On this planet, mostly people, they are trying to follow satanic teachings, not heavenly teachings. And that is the main point that I may sign to everyone.
The satanic teachings, or the teachings of Satan, I think you refer to Adam and Eve and the fall, to out of the garden that you say where man lived in peace and harmony with God, the Creator. Is this Satan an individual, a man, or is it a consciousness that takes somebody over?
It is something that grows with man. because men, they have been created to be a heavenly being, and also from the level of animals. Through their physical beings, they belong to animals' world. Through their souls, they are belonging to heavenly beings. So that we are keeping both sides from heavenly being and from animals being together, and as long as we may control our animals' side, our direction towards heavens, as long as we can't be able to control our egoistic or our animal being desires, if it is getting out of our control, then that is the meaning to follow the teachings of Satan.
So Satan's teachings would be, or Satan's effect would be that of an egoistic lifestyle. And just to clarify, egoistic, you're saying, would you say that is about self-serving too much, taking care of the physical too much, and physical desires too much?
That is true. That is true. Just we are mentioning on that point that mostly everyone individually asking to fulfill their selfish desires. And selfish desires, it is well known, no limits.
Right. Now, this is not an easy thing for people in this world today, because we have moved into a very physical, materialistic existence for the most part. Money and power have become the god of many people. What does one person do to effect a change?
For reaching people to their endless selfish desires, they are in need money or power. And sometimes money means power, or sometimes power means money. Therefore, most people, commonly people, running after money or after power. Therefore, you are witnessing now in our days that mostly people running to do much more money or to reach to points of power.
Now, this drive, this obsession to do this, is a teaching that starts in our educational systems. I'm talking about the public school systems of this country in the West, and in Europe, and in other countries, and even in the developing countries now, to teach people to go to school, to learn how to be successful, gratify the ego, be number one, make a lot of money. How do we change this? I'm in agreement with you. We're out of control.
Now you are saying and developing countries. What is the meaning developing?
Well, take the United States and Europe, okay? They have a major industrial, economic stability, and the countries in South America are following our ways, the ways here that may not be so good. So
but developing means developing for technology,
yes,
technical things. But what about for mankind?
Well, some of these countries have maybe the spiritual or divine roots that make the world a better place, but we don't follow them.
But it is so weak, never affecting on common people, because educational system now in our days on whole world based on atheistic principles.
Yes. So how do we touch the heart and the soul that's buried under layers of the mind that has learned this system, that this is what we do? I know you're traveling around this country now. How, what is the teaching? What is the methodology for the change?
Now we are in need a changing on earth from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
Every foundation just based on atheistic principles and must be changed from A up to Z.
Mm-hmm.
And it is impossible to be done, that changing, by individual attempts.
If it can't be done by individual.
Individually it is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Either states must change their directions, their principles from atheistic principles to the heavenly principles, or a terrible future facing for whole mankind.
Well, we have in this country, in the United States, a separation of church and state. It's intentionally been done. Years ago, they took prayers out of the public school system. No more praying. I agree. We need to shift back to a spiritual base. Do you have any thoughts about how we can do that? How to organize that to create change?
To organize, it is impossible, as we said, by someone's to do that organization, or through communities. It is so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
We must use power.
Mm-hmm.
Governing power must be on it to change direction of people, because whole time people, they are like flocks, and government, they are shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
If shepherd not changing the direction of flock going on.
So do we need to elect people into office that are people who make the spiritual, the God realization or God service the priority, and the government and operating the world secondary?
But now church can't do that. Church no power.
No power.
And also originally church never authorized to look after states works, or states what they are doing for governing people. If they are following the teachings of Jesus Christ just left what belongs to Caesar, to be left to him. We are Christians. Church can't be able to introduce or to involve the government's governing principles, but only they may advise to them to keep people on heavenly beliefs, and to try to bring rules according to heavenly principles.
So this feels like, to me, it gets back to the individual again, each person, because their life will not work as well because of their individual suffering in this system. We all feel pain inside ourselves. I do. And many of the people that I talk to about the way life is, the quality of life is deteriorating. It's going down, gets worse. What do you recommend to the individual that they do to touch into a place inside to connect with the divine, with with God to serve, so that the pain isn't there, so that they can let go of their pain.
But if we are doing something individually, collectively, it is going to disappear. The conditions that we are living in it, surrounding individually people, so difficult. Yesterday I was in someone's, our brother's home, and he showed me a garden through in his home, and I'm looking where it is growing, and he showed to me that growing inside in a glass room,
The greenhouse.
greenhouse. It was banana tree, and it is impossible to live through outside. Therefore, individually you can do it only through your home,
Yes.
through your family. But when you are going to outside, it is going to disappear or to be in ruins.
Do you see any hope for the world?
For hope, it is another thing, another point. Perhaps now whole nations, whole religions, they are looking after someone. Everyone going to be hopeless from the statement that governing whole world now to be able to change. Only everyone now, they are looking towards heavens and asking a divinely involvement to our people, to ourselves, to save us. As it was before, every time Lord was sending some distinguished, extraordinary servants to change everything on earth. And now, I am, as a Muslim, I am expecting one. And Christians, they are expecting one. And Jewish people, they are expecting one also.
Messiah you're talking about. Messiah.
I know Messiah.
Yeah.
Messiah. Two Messiahs. One, it is expecting by Jewish people.
Yes.
And second, Messiah expecting through Christians. Another Messiah expecting by Muslims. Therefore, now we are looking what is going to happen. Because full speed, a train moving. Who may be able to get in front of it and to say stop, taking everything taking. But there is only one hope for that speed train to stop, only traffic lights. When traffic lights is going to be in front of it, then this driver making it down, speed getting reducing, then when it is red, stopping. Now, whole world and most speedfully running on a dark future, worst or terrible, most dangerous direction it is going. And I don't know anyone on earth, even His Excellency President of America, Mr. Bush,
George Bush, yes.
Mr. George Bush,
Yes.
to do that. And he is doing individual prayings every Sunday. And I'm very happy that the first #1 man on earth going to cathedral and bowing in divine presence, it must be for whole mankind a excellent model for them, an excellent teaching. But it is going to be also useless. It is only for himself. He can't be able to force anyone else to go to church, anyone else to go to their temples, anyone else to go to their mosques. No. He can do only individually. And I am asking, why such a number one person who controlling whole world now in our days, that the Lord Almighty Allah just giving to him that authority, why he can't be able to force whole mankind to bow in the divinely presence? That is my question.
It's a good question, and I think that people are not ready to bow to his presence because too many people doubt his motives and his integrity about what he's doing. Just going to church on Sunday is not enough.
Not enough?
It's living the Spirit every day, really.
Really living, but who controlling whole world, such a number one person, most important person that the Lord just rest on him, that power. Why he can't be able to use it to make people, all of them, to follow their faith, to be servants to their Lord? Why he is going to give everyone freedom, that they are escaping from servanthood, not coming because they are free? They may put a law, a rule, that everyone must go, must bow in divinely presence, because I am as a first man on earth, I am bowing to my Lord. Why others not bowing? But he can't do.
No.
Someone's or some powers, secret currents through east and west, controlling something on this earth.
What is that?
That is secret. Some secret rules for some devils. I may say only there is secret devils. They are controlling even presidents, even sultans, even kings.
How do we strike through the devils and the
You can't do.
Can't do.
You can't do. Therefore I am saying we are in need an involvement from heavens. As people waiting Messiah, and we are Messiah asking.
So you're saying we just need to ask for greater intervention from either a Messiah
Must be. But now as a punishment, now coming a big war. Because as I said, the train with full speed running now on a great war.
When will this war happen?
Sooner it's going to happen.
Where?
Everywhere.
You're saying there will be a world war?
Everywhere. World war, third war.
Nuclear?
Nuclear, and with whole weapons. With whole weapons, because they was just prepared every conditions to be a nuclear war.
You know, with what's happening in the Soviet Union, in Russia, the breakdown of the communist control, there's more freedom there now than ever before. It would seem to me and other people that maybe there's a relaxing of the tensions rather than an increasing of the tensions. So what will the war be over if it's not between the Soviet Union and the United States? Where will the war start? Over what?
War should be between East and West. East and West, through their ideas, as it is mentioned through traditional knowledge, through Torah, through Old Testament and New Testament and Last Testament, mentioning that as Armageddon.
That's sad.
The last greatest war should be between believers and unbelievers. World going to be into two parts. One part believing and other part unbelievers. That must be before last days. When last days approaching, that must be. And you are looking at whole world running on it. For what they are preparing? For National Days ceremony. They are preparing armies and navy and air forces.
What will happen to humanity?
To humanity?
Humanity, to all the people, 5 billion plus people on this planet. What will happen after the war?
Because mankind now, they are saying, people getting much more, can't be able to live more than these people on this planet, and they are trying to make a birth control, and Lord looking after them from heavens. They are saying it is too much, too many people. We must cut it. We must not send too many people to live. And so many countries, they are making men not to bring child, or making women not to bring child. Therefore, the Lord going to make them less.
So the war will reduce the population.
Reduce?
Cut it down, eliminate a lot of people, smaller.
Should be from 3/3, 1/3 remaining, 2/3 going away. It should be so too many distance for those people whom they are trying to make a birth control. Lord going to make that birth control for them, to make them less, making them to kill to each other. Better to kill children through the wombs of their mothers, to kill adults each other. That is better. Because civilization, they are reaching to a black point that they are killing children through the wombs of their mothers.
I'm talking about abortion?
Abortion. Mm-hmm. That is biggest murdering, biggest crime on earth that they are doing, and mankind looking and not saying, don't do this.
Well, there's a very major debate issue about this right now.
But no power. They are not doing anything. Doctors doing that, and no punishment. Government's not saying anything. They are saying because too much people. We are not like to be much more people on earth. We are making more birth control. Doesn't matter, kill them, they are saying. They are like Pharaoh, that killed. Pharaoh was more honorable from them, because Pharaoh was taking children after birth and killing. Those people, they are taking these innocent small ones through the wombs of their mothers from safety place and killing them. That is worse than from Pharaoh.
Well, some say that the infant child, the conceived child, has no consciousness at that point, as opposed to somebody who's already been born. I'm not getting into the middle of that issue. I know it's a problem, but women claim that they should have the choice, that men are making the law.
That is atheistic principle teaching, shaitan teaching to women, that they are saying we have chose to bring baby or not. They can't do. They are servants, only the Lord may send children or not. If they are doing this, they are going to be killed.
Who will be killed?
Women also. Through this Armageddon, mostly they are going to be killed. Whom they are doing that abortion.
So are you saying that that this is the major problem in the world today, that abortion is the greatest sin that's creating this Armageddon?
One of that reasons, because unbelievers only may doing such a criminal to kill children through the wombs of mothers. I am defender whole children that they are going to be killed through the wombs of mothers.
How about sexual abstinence, not having sex and not having conception?
And because no control on man and woman relationship now, because the foolishness of unlimited freedom bringing such a cases, such a problems, such a crisis, such a cursing on people.
So what if people don't want to have children? What do they do? Just not have sex? Is that the teaching?
Our teaching that we have been learned through heavenly knowledge, the Creator who creating you and your children, He is responsible for their lives. You are not responsible. Whole responsibility for the Lord who creating you and your children. But there are no any beliefs, atheistic basis through his education, making people unbelievers. An unbeliever person may do everything, and they think that no responsibility on him here or hereafter.
So how does the person connect up to receive the teaching, to receive from God the knowledge, the understanding, and the message to live their life in God's will, in His will?
Everyone not given consciousness? Consciousness?
Yes.
Everyone just given. Yes? Everyone may return to his consciousness to ask, not to his ego or to her ego. All guiding, all ego, always selfishness, leading people to worst. But everyone has consciousness, and everyone may return to himself, to herself alone, and may ask. And that consciousness only way for a relationship through heavenly positions.
So is that the consciousness of going back inside, meditation, prayer, quiet, leaving the world out there and listening inside?
Even if it is not going to be whole time, but a man, a person must use his consciousness, must use his meditation daily, even 5 minutes, to come to himself, to come to herself, not to be out of himself or out of herself. Because people all living out of themselves, not with themselves. And that is the biggest problem, biggest cursing coming on earth, on people.
Any hope? Any hope?
From the Lord.
Thank you.
Enough?
Enough. Thank you.
Good.
Pleasure.